I was appointed to be the sous chef, the youngest ever sous chef at the White House for the Clinton administration.
Tell us about that. Tell us the experience at the White House and how that was. I'm at Springbank Links, one of my golf courses, and as you can see, there is nobody in this parking lot. This time of the year we would actually be pretty busy. The snow's melting, as you can see. I've got no jacket on. We know that we need to execute on a plan. That plan's something that within the last week we've come up with. I wanted to provide a little bit more context on exactly what's going on. So obviously, number one, we're under COVID-19, but number two, we have a big renovation project going on here at Springbank Links. If you watched the last video, you'll know that we talked about 5 ways to overcome crisis. But guess what? That's what we're doing here today and what we're talking about. Within the last week, we've launched the Little Tavern Pizza Company. We've got a full menu. And just wait, in a few minutes, you're gonna meet Chef Keith, who has one of the most experienced, incredible backgrounds. Not overstating that, it is legit. Can't wait for you to meet Chef Keith. So this is your own special recipe?
Oh yeah.
Your own?
Yeah, it's my version. I altered it for Calgary because we're at altitude and it's very dry here. So I had to do a few things.
Hold on a minute. You had to alter the dough because of altitude.
Yeah, and the dryness in the air.
Really?
So I had to up the hydration a little bit.
Did you hear that?
So normally this would be about a 62 to 65% hydration. I'm bringing it to about 72%, and I put a little olive oil in it for this altitude because the telltale, the qualities of a New York pizza has lots of structure even though it's thin, crispy but supple, and it has a good mouthfeel. So all of my sort of ratio of water to flour and that addition of oil replicates my childhood memory of a New York pizza.
Tell us a little bit about the history of your background in the industry, being a chef. It's intriguing. There's lots to it, so we want to hear about it.
It's complicated. It's a long story. How long do you have?
Well, give it to us.
Well, so I grew up on a farm. My father had a farm, and my mother, her father was an Italian chef.
Right.
The two things I said I would never do in my life: farm and cook or have restaurants.
Right.
And here I am. They're the things I've done most.
Definitely a chef. Did you do the farming component?
I did. So a lot of my background was really fine dining.
Yeah.
Really, really high-end fine dining.
Right.
And I went through a period where I worked in Europe and I worked really all over the world. And when I came back to the States, I wanted to bring farming to my cooking because I found in Europe that the ingredients were so good.
Right.
We didn't have them here. So I set out on almost a mission to farm all my own things. I had a restaurant in Seattle where we made our own sea salt, made our own butter, made our own cheese.
Wow.
All those things, grew everything that we served. We were the #1 destination restaurant in the world, actually.
Right.
But what most people know about my career is right after I came back from Europe, I was appointed to be the sous chef, the youngest ever sous chef at the White House for the Clinton administration.
Right. So tell us about that. Tell us the experience at the White House and how that was.
That is an incredible life experience. The White House is. I was young, as I said, and I had come from working in these great restaurants where people were coming to the restaurant for the food, and I went to the White House thinking, wow, I'm going to be able to do anything I want to do. And a big part of what you do at the White House is you take care of the first family, and they had Chelsea, who was a younger girl, a teenager.
Yeah, of course.
So I did everything from pizza parties. I hadn't done a whole lot of pizza in my life before that, to be honest with you. making cookies, or I might be doing a state function for 1,200 people on the South Lawn, or I might be doing a state dinner for 400 in the state dining room. I might be traveling to Miami to put on a series of state functions. Right. It was all over the place.
So did you get to know the family pretty well then?
I did. You know, I was pretty lucky. That position, a lot of people don't realize there were only, at that time, there were only 80 people in resident staff.
Wow.
And that includes electricians, plumbers, historians,
right.
all those things. And so you become a unique part of history and a unique part of the family.
Yeah.
It's really strange, and you might be the first one to see them in the morning, you might be the last one to see them at night.
Less than 2 weeks ago, probably a week, just over a week ago actually. So, you know, COVID-19, we've been under self-isolation for under 3 weeks. We pop up a whole new business called Little Tavern Pizza immediately. And that's what you have to do in business.
Yes.
When there's crisis, when things happen, you've got to evolve, you've got to change.
I have a slightly altered social distance pizza here.
Look at this.
And it's funny because when we started putting the menu together, I thought, what could we call this pizza? And it's really, if you know Italian food, it's a puttanesca garnish. So puttanesca is anchovies, garlic, a little chili.
Right on.
This guest actually put a little ham on this pizza, which is pretty neat. I never thought of that, but hey, we're here to please
anchovies
people.
Too, I see that.
Anchovies, right? Yep. So what more social distancing than garlic and anchovies?
Yeah, there
you don't really want to be around somebody like that. But this is one of my favorite pies for sure, because the flavor combination is just classic. There's some olives, capers, and this is going to a nice deserving guest here shortly. We'll get this in the box.
So the dough itself, you know, I don't know pizza like you do, but I've always heard that is one of the magic things that happen when making pizza.
Well, pizza is so simple when you really think about it.
Yeah.
But as you know, Barry, the simplest things in life are the most difficult things.
Can be the most complex.
Because there's nowhere to hide.
Right.
So your dough, this dough, I talked about that consultancy that I did. This is a dough that I formulated for that family. And the minute that I tasted it, I said, well, I'm going to have to formulate another dough for them. And I kept this one because I loved it.
So there you have it. This is what we're doing at Springbank Links as response to COVID-19. But for you, make sure you take a look at what skills you have, what opportunities are already available. Make those comments below. I'm interested in seeing what other people are doing. Most importantly, just get going, get the wheels in motion. Thanks for following along. See you next time.